And I would recommend everybody getting up and moving closer because you guys are going to be working together to do your lab today, and then you're going to be checking each other off. And it's going to be really hard to do that if you guys have no idea what you're looking at.
Okay.
So, can you actually read what from right there? No, then get up and move.
I could read from start moving away.
Devin, can you read that?
Yeah.
Okay, what are my inventory settings?
I can't read.
You can't read it, exactly. I don't know why you guys are being so. Alright? So, if you. I have to be able to see it too. Okay. If you want to change your settings, you go modify, and then you're going to use the toggle switch here to go to edit. And you are going to go down. And if you're on the one that if you're on the setting that you want to edit, that's when you move up and down, and then you can click OK. Then navigate will take you down to your next settings, and once you find a setting that you want to change, you click modify again, you edit up or down, you click OK, and then in order for any of this to take place, you have to hit finish. Okay? Once you hit finish, it doesn't do anything yet. If you were to put this on the patient right now, you would just suffocate them. Okay? You have to hit therapy and kick it off. Okay? So right now I have this set with this guy right here. What is the ambu mask going to be best for? And do we have other options for patients that may not tolerate this?
Is there a mouthpiece that they can use with something like that?
It depends on the patient. But yes, there are mouthpieces that you can use. If you're going to use mouthpiece, what else do you have to use?
Nose clips.
You have to have nose clips and keep the seal. This is going to be your best use, but it does cause claustrophobia. So if you have a patient that's claustrophobic or prone to claustrophobia, then this probably isn't the best option. But it is really difficult to keep a tight seal with your lips with nose clips on and breathing on this. The natural reaction is going to be that it is horribly uncomfortable. Okay, and you're not going to want to keep your mouth closed. You're gonna want to go back to your you're not gonna want to do it. So this is the best option. But if you can't use this, then you could use nose clips and a mouthpiece. So this is good.
Roll through changing the settings one more time.
All right. So
I'm sorry.
no. So how are we gonna do this? Anybody care to?
Settings.
Okay. Go into settings.
Modify.
Okay.
And then you toggle down. And once you get something that you hit OK.
Okay.
And then go down.
All right. So say I want to change my inventory time to 1.5 seconds. How am I going to do that?
Scroll down. And do I modify again? Yeah. Okay. 0.5. Okay. And finish. Is that the only thing you want to change?
And if we don't have any other settings that we don't want to change, then we click finish.
And then
And
therapy to actually start it.
that is correct.
Okay.
All right. Did everybody see that? Alrighty. So then we will move on to the next thing. All right. You guys already know how to use the Flutter valves, correct? Okay. So you have to know how to adjust the setting on the RC coordinate, on the acapella, on the Arabica. And then this is just going to be one general setting for the regular Flutter valve. But you'll also know if I say I need to use a portable positive airway pressure device, this is what you would select. Okay? So because I can take this anywhere. I can put it in my car with me. I don't need a compressed gas source. It is literally just this device here. Okay, so if you need a portable one for somebody outside of a hospital facility, this is the route that you're going to go. Okay? All right. So the Easy PEP, let's see here. All right. So the Easy PEP right here, I just put a filter on the end of it. So I do want you guys to practice using the Easy PEP too to see how it feels. Okay, so if you don't have a filter that you want to reuse, I have more filters back there, and you can grab one. And I would practice doing this. I would practice this one here, and again, it is going to be the same thing. It is just going to attach on right to the end of it. Okay, so super easy to use. But you're going to have this, and you're going to blow into this end, and it will be against the back pressure. Our settings. Can you grab me that airflow meter right there? And yes, that, and then the white Christmas tree there. Thank you, sir. Okay, does anybody know or remember what flow settings we are putting this on the Easy PEP?
6 liters.
Anybody else? Okay, Easy PEP, 5 to 15 liters. Now with this device, you are not able to gauge how much pressure the patient is, because this is a positive expiratory pressure, positive airway pressure device. We're not able to really see how much pressure the patient is getting in their lungs, right? So we are going to have to go off of patient comfort. If somebody is, okay, so our levels are at 5 to 15 liters, okay? If they are getting 15 liters, is that going to be more or less positive airway pressure in their lungs than 5 liters?
More.
More. There's more flow that they are blowing out against. So with the more flow that they're blowing against, the more difficult it's going to be, and they will have more positive pressure build up in their lungs as a result. Okay? That's like the difference between blowing out on something like this and blowing out something like this. Okay? So it is restricting their expiratory flow more, and that's going to make it more difficult. So the Easy PEP, 5 to 15 liters. If they have the AccuPEP, okay, what is our liter flow for this guy? It's 10 liters. It's in that range, but 10 liters is what we'll run this on. Now, we can set, we have the arrow right here. It's going to point to the pressure that we're delivering to the patient, okay? We can set anything from 5 to 20, okay? Which one are we going to start out with? Are we going to start out, hit them hard, and go 20, or are we going to start out at 5? 5. We always want to do the least amount of pressure possible, just to avoid pulmonary barotrauma. But if it's not being effective, then we can go up in our pressure setting. And this is nice because it doesn't go over 20. Any extra pressure that might have a buildup because of the flow and everything like that will just kind of exhale out of the valve here. So this one kind of controls the amount of pressure that they're receiving, just like this guy right here, because we were able to set the pressure that is going to be achieved. Cool so far? Mm-hmm. All right, so AccuPEP, 10 liters, Easy PEP, 5 to 15 liters. We always start on the lowest end and then move up, okay? That way we can protect the patient as much as possible. We're always going to start off on the lowest end on the on all of our other devices too. If we start them off on the highest and the patient's like, oh, I can't do this, then they might just be done with the whole thing to begin with. Okay, so always start off on the lowest end and then move up as they tolerate. Okay? Cool so far? Alright. Then let's move on to the easy PEP, or the Metaneb, I'm sorry. Alright. So, the Metaneb. Alright. Metaneb is super easy. Alright. So, this is how the device comes. Okay? It is about one of the easiest things to set up ever. You are literally just going to attach the neb. Easy enough. And then you're going to attach this guy right here. There's only one way to attach it. So you are going to twist it in, or just get it inside the post there. I took it out. And then you're going to twist it into place. And it's set up. It's that easy. Okay? So you'll have to put the meds in the cup, and we always open up the nebulizer cup like this. We don't pour in through the top, okay? I know that you guys might do that clinically, but as far as the checkoffs are concerned, and NBRC is concerned, you're supposed to open it up to make sure all the meds actually get in here. Okay, so you'll attach it just like that, and then to work it. All right. Has anybody seen one of these done before? I know a couple of you guys have, maybe. Okay, so this is. All right. Here is our lung expansion. You can hear it's just flow, right? Okay, if I increase the flow, I'm going to increase the amount of pressure that the patient is blowing out against. Okay? So it makes it more difficult for them to be able to, pardon me, for them to be able to do. We always start off on the lowest end and then increase as they tolerate. Okay? So we'd start off on the low end and they're doing fine. And you can see the pressure that's building up there on the manometer. Okay? If I increase the flow, we're going to see a corresponding increase in the pressure. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and reduce that. And then, how long do we say in this setting? 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Yes. All right. Say the patient's like, I need a break from this. They still have their medication running through this device, right? So, if they can't tolerate it for a moment, then you can go to just the nebulizer and just give them the neb, okay? But then, here is our percussive part of the treatment. And we can change this by doing this. Okay, so you may want to start off on the low end here. This is kind of intimidating for a patient, okay? But they have to keep a tight seal. They have to keep a tight seal with their lips on this device. If they can't keep a tight seal with their lips on this device, then we have to move into a mask, and not just an aerosol mask, but an ambu mask, or like a bag valve mask that we attach here and then put on the patient. They have to keep a tight seal with their lips. If they have a mouthpiece, they have to have nose clips. Otherwise, you'll just breathe through their nose. Okay. How else? If not by mask? If not by mouthpiece, how else can we use this?
By trach.
We can go in line with the ventilator. Absolutely right. All right, so that's easy enough, right? You literally it's all pneumatic, it's all gas powered. There is no electric. You'll have to plug it into the flow or to our Ocean outlet and brain pardon. And that's it. It's probably one of the easiest things to use. Just remember that you're supposed to stay in each setting for about 2.5 minutes, and then switch. Okay, so you'll have to make sure that you're like when you're doing this with the patient, you have to make sure that you're not extending that 2.5 minutes on one spot and then flip it to the next one, okay? So that's that device. It's not too difficult, is it? Anybody have any questions on this one? All right, what pressure, if we're looking and monitoring the pressure here, what do we want to keep it under?
20.
20. We don't want to go above 20, okay? Now, when we're doing positive pressure ventilation, that's going to be a different story. We'll go above 20. But for now, all these positive pressure adjuncts, we don't want to go over 20, except for the cough assist. And what are the settings for the cough assist? 30 to 50. Absolutely right. Both positive and negative. All right. So any questions here? Okay. All right. And then we're going to move on to the back here. All right. The easiest one. Who wants to be my model? Goalie! All right. So I'm going to have you go ahead and snap those together. Nice. Come on a little bit closer. There you go. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Okay. And once I turn it on, it's going to start to inflate the vest. Okay. This is where the compression comes from this device. It's getting it tight. It's getting filled up. This is going to pop off there. Okay, cool. All right. So I can adjust how powerful and how easy it is. I'll just keep it on 10. And how many minutes that this is going to take. To turn this on. All right.
I don't love this.
You don't love it? Okay, so it can increase the amount, like if we're increasing the hertz, we're increasing the amount of percussions that are taking place, okay? So you can hear it if you listen. Okay? Then I can increase how powerful it is or decrease how powerful it is. All right. Do you feel like you're going to cough everything in your lungs out? That's awesome. Okay. So, extremely easy therapy to give. But all of these, okay, you can go ahead and take it on. All right. All of these are going to require coughing afterwards. If we have a patient like this that's a quad patient, doesn't have any arms, doesn't have any legs, they might need help with, they might not be able to do a directed cough. Okay, so we might have to do the quad coughing with them. And so if you see a patient that has no arms and legs in the lab here, we're just going to assume that that patient is a quadriplegic. And if you have that patient, they will probably need to be quad coughed. Okay? If you are talking about a COPD patient, I can like smell the air it's putting out, or taste it. I don't know, it's weird. If we have a COPD patient and we have them doing a flutter valve, what type of cough would you expect to do with that patient? Huh? Huff. Exactly right. So we'll do a directed cough, but do a huff cough for them. If we have just a regular patient that doesn't have COPD, but we are doing this stuff with them, then what type of cough would we do with them?
The directed cough where you have one bear down.
Absolutely, yes. that is the majority. I mean, that's what you guys are going to be checked off on next Friday. This stuff. I could really taste that. Either that or I'm having a stroke. I don't know.
No, when you pulled them off, it was like.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions on how to run this? This is super easy, and I am going to take that out. Okay, so part of this is selecting the right size for your patient, and then hooking it up, putting the settings in there, and then turning it on. Turning it on is literally just stepping on that little pedal, turning it off, step on the pedal again. Okay, and that stops the therapy. Does anybody have any questions on this? None at all? Does anybody have any questions over what we went over in with these other modalities? No? Okay. All right. Well, then I will leave you guys to do the lab. I think everybody should have one. If not, I have more printed off and up on the computer stand. You can feel free to grab that. And once you've completed the lab, then I would use the remaining time to check each other off on these different modalities. Okay, I'm hoping to give you guys next week. I don't want to make a promise I can't keep, but I'm hoping to use one of our class times for you to check each other off. Whatever checkoffs you have remaining, to check each other off, get that teaching and display done. That way, I'm not asking you guys to come in or stay late too much. But those forms will be due on Friday prior to checkoffs as well. Okay? Yes.
Wasn't there like a gun that we used?
There is, but we are going. It's actually up there at the front. But we are going to wait to use that until we move into PD.